Hey everybody, David R. Becker here with Becker Art, and today we're going to be talking about tracing. Tracing your image onto your watercolor paper. Many of my beginner students, they come into class and a lot of them tell me right from the get-go, they go, David, I can't really draw really well. And that's fine, because we're here in class to learn how to do watercolor for one, but we're all going to be doing the same thing, and that is tracing. So I have all my students in the very beginning trace, and I know that many people think it's cheating. You know, it's like you're cheating because you're not really drawing it on. And, it's not cheating, basically. I have taken many years and years of life drawing, and I know how to draw from my imagination. I was an illustrator for many, many years. And so I do everything from my imagination, a lot of things from my imagination. And it took me a long time to get there. And so when I have new students come in and to learn how to do watercolors, I don't want to disappoint them and make them feel like, they can never get to learn how to draw or do a good watercolor unless you learn how to draw first. And there are many, many artists out there who don't know how to draw but are still doing great, great watercolors. So there is these things called projectors, and there's the tracing and all this stuff that helps the certain artists, to do certain kind of styles and stuff. So don't feel bad when you go to trace your work onto your watercolor paper, because there are many people who are using, many artists who I know are using the projector to trace their image onto their paper. So don't feel bad, and by tracing, like I'm going to show you right now, it even helps you to learn how to draw a little bit. So let me just get right down to it and on this tabletop. So here I have, when students start in my classes, what I do is I have them all come in, and I don't care if you can draw or not, because I give everybody an image to use to trace onto their paper. Because I can't teach you how to draw within a 3-day workshop, a 4-day workshop, 5-day workshop. Even if it was a month workshop, you wouldn't know how to draw, learn how to draw, because that's a whole separate thing. And I'm going to be doing next year, I'm going to be doing hopefully a 2-month kind of a book online, where you work every day for 2 months to learn how to work and get better at drawing. And so while you're waiting to get better at drawing, you can still do watercolors. And so what I do is, like I said, in my classes, I especially in my workshops, I bring everything for one, and then what I do is I give you a image. And so this is like one of the images I would give you, and then I also give you a piece of transfer paper. Now, many watercolorists who are even professionals, they have a thing called a projector, a digital projector, where they just take their digital projection and they project it onto the paper, the white paper. This is the best I could do for my students in classrooms, because this is not much to use really. And so I have a lot of my students still using this, where this is transfer paper. There's two kinds of transfer paper. There's like the carbon kind of transfer paper. And I'll put these carbon papers in the description of this video. And so this is more one that you can erase, and then there's one that's made of graphite, a graphite paper, and so that you can then erase a little bit. But what it is that you have your sheet of white paper, watercolor paper, and it doesn't matter if it's hot press, cold press, it all works fine. And so you take your transfer paper, put it on there on top, and then of course this is not the size of this, but you would maybe take 2 of them, put them side by side. But let me just show you that you put it, the dark side, usually the dark side goes down onto the paper, because you're pressing that onto the paper, and then you don't have to tape that down, but you can take this and put this over it, and then maybe tape this down so it doesn't move while you're tracing it. Then get yourself a pen. I like to use a pen because a pencil, when you put a pencil on it, it's kind of a little bit wider depending on how the point is. And with a pen, and actually I like to use a red pen, which I don't have around here right at the moment, so I can see where I went and where I traced. And then when people ask me, well, what should I trace? What should I trace? And the tracing, I say, is just the outline of things so you can see the shape of them. And I wouldn't get into things like folds and clouds and anything that's in the light area, and it's going to be of a light edge, so then press really lightly, because that's going to make a hard edge. And also make sure that you don't press too hard, because especially on this kind of transfer paper, which is going to not be erased, if you press really hard, you're going to get a really, really dark black line. And so that's probably not the best thing you want. So you test it, test it once and just kind of press down, and then pick this up and look to see to see what you got. So see, I got a little line there, and that's not too bad. And so I felt the pressure, and so as I'm going down here, I'm doing the outer edge of this umbrella. Let's just say, for instance, I'm tracing this. And then I would do around the hat. And anywhere the light side, like right here, where from there to there, I would not put that in, because that's like really light. And if I put a black line across that, then it's going to be there permanently. So what I do is the underside of this, and my eye, or when I paint it, will be enough to show. It'll be enough to show that, and see, you can tell that's just, the outside will not be there, and so I'm just going to put the hat on here. And I don't do all the little lines in there. That, if I wanted to use my pencil maybe afterwards, I could do that. I could take a pencil after I get the main parts kind of sketched in. See, I've just got that kind of sketched in. And so, again, I only do parts that I know are going to be in the dark area. If I see that's going to be a light, like this shoulder, front of the shoulder here, that's also light as the sky. Now, this is not a colored version of this, and so the blue probably would be different. The blue sky would be different from the flesh tone. That'd be right here. But I still don't want a black line right there. So if it's light against light, then I want to just stay away from that a little bit. And I want to kind of just do my dark areas. And then when I'm telling my students to trace this, I'm also asking them to look at dimensions of things and how things are drawn. Because if you really watch it and then see how you're sketching it, you could almost do it like a sketch, like you know, going down. And so I do the big parts, and this is how I would actually do it if I would be actually drawing it from my mind's eye, or just drawing it as I'm seeing it on a plein air. I go and do the big parts first, because you need to have the big parts. Now, all the big parts are not, and this lady's not moving, and so it's not like you're outside, but you can still kind of look at see dimensions, like what's halfway on this picture, what is halfway this way, up and down. And so that it just kind of gets you ready for when you actually go doing like you're painting for when you're really sketching and doing from life. And so see, I'm just gonna, and then I once in a while I look, and that's how come you want to have the tape down a little bit. But see how you can already tell it's a lady, and I don't even have a lot of the big parts done, or the little details done. As long as you get the big parts, that's enough. You don't need to get the smaller little things, like these little curves and things in there, or the wrinkles in the dress. If you want to put some of the dark ones in, they're going to be dark underneath, that's fine. Just you can also do a little shading. Just really lightly shading, but basically you want to do that when you have graphite paper. Not so much with this paper, because again, this paper is dark and it doesn't erase, and so, but you're going to be covering it with the dark, so then that would be probably okay if you sketch a little bit to make it look a little bit dark, because it's going to be dark in the long run anyways. So here, kind of going to go there, there, there. Come on. So see, that's enough to show, and that's enough to show you just basically that's how you get the drawing down. And hopefully, if you are using your own sketch or your own photograph to sketch from, I usually have them, you can go to a printer, get this printed up on 11 by 17, or do two little 8.5 by 11, the sheets of paper, and then make two of them to make the size of your painting. Because you can do that with a printer, make it, you know, and they can even make a bigger picture without having to use a full 11 by 17 sheet of paper. But you do want to have the right size, because it's going to be the size that you're putting down. And if you're just doing 8.5 by 11s all the time, that's pretty small paintings, which is fine too, but you're just basically copying it and tracing it. And again, I don't find that to be a bad thing. It's not bad at all. And in time, as you get more and more better at painting and knowing how to do the watercolor, then you can spend some time also just going out there and sketching, not doing paintings, and just sketching, going out and sketching from a photograph too. If you can't get to a life drawing class, and you want to, they have a life drawing class because it's always hardest to do a portrait person, but you don't have to even do that. Just you can go outside and draw a tree, draw a landscape. You know, you can draw anything. It could be a salt shaker, anything. It's just practicing getting a sketchbook, and that You can do that, at any time when you're waiting or something around, or if you're in the back of a car driving somewhere, or on the train or plane. You can sketch. You can sketch and just learn how to draw, and that's a good time to learn how to draw. But when I have my classes, I need everybody to have a good drawing right then and there, so I can teach them the watercolor. So I find it that a lot of people are really against having you trace, and it's definitely a bad thing, they say. But look at some of these masters who use the artograph, the little mirror and the thing that you look into. So there's many different types of ways of doing this. This is the easiest, I think, for my students, is to just take transfer paper and transfer it onto a sheet of paper like that. There's also you can look in I have a bunch of videos on how to use a Lucy, which is like a little mirror that you look into, and they have the Da Vinci Eye, and there's so many ways, but it's all about tracing. All those machines, all those things that people are using, it's all for the projector and projecting it onto the screen. That's all tracing, and I don't find that to be a bad thing, especially in the beginning, if you don't have the ability to draw. And just keep in mind that you do want to learn how to do that. And when you're out there doing a plein air painting, do the drawing, and maybe do a sketch first, and maybe you don't have to go out to paint, but go out to sketch. There's a lot of urban sketching places now and clubs that you can go out with, and they just do sketching basically, and you don't have to paint it. You can just learn how to sketch, and that's a great time to learn how to sketch. But when you're in a classroom like mine, or if you're even in any classroom, if you're having a hard time with your sketching or with your drawing, it's going to make it really tough on you, because then when you go and do a beautiful painting, which the way they're doing it, the way I'm teaching you, then you're going to have a bad drawing if I'm having you draw from your freehand. If you're drawing it freehand and you don't have the ability to do that, then your painting is not going to look that great. Sorry to say that, but it's the truth, and so that's how come I bring my images to the classes, so that you can then have a good drawing from the get-go. That's number one, actually. My most important thing I teach people is that have a good drawing first. And there's many people who use projectors out there that have never learned how to draw, and they're doing some great works of art. And little by little, they're probably going to learn how to draw even better and better. But it all depends on what you're painting and how you're painting it, and what kind of photographer you are. Also, if you're tracing things, you also have to be a good photographer, because you're going to be tracing from the photo you take. So you have to be kind of a good photographer too, because unless you know how to change things. And that's where painting plein air, or just going out and urban sketching and doing it on the spot, really teaches you a lot. But don't be afraid of tracing, okay? So go ahead and trace. And this is one of the easiest way of doing it, and as a student. So go ahead and get your picture enlarged a little bit. You can go to a certain Office Max and have it also enlarged to a certain 11 by 17. And then actually, if you kind of keep it to the quarter sheet, like 11 by 14, make it kind of the size of your paper, and then trace it. And then learn how to paint by watching me on Thursday nights and also on Sunday mornings. And I'll teach you how to do the watercolor end of it. But then you'll have the drawing already done. The drawing will be perfect for you. And then little by little, keep on sketching, and you'll learn. And then one day you'll be transferring over where you're not going to be doing a tracing, and hopefully you'll be able to put your own personality into a freehand drawing. Because that's one thing that happens when you do go freehand later after tracing so much, is that your own personality and the way you sketch kind of becomes part of your look of your paintings. Because when you're freehanding, you're not kind of copying it completely to a T. You're kind of making things up to better your image of the thing. So go ahead and trace. I allow it. All right. We'll talk to you soon, and have a happy Thanksgiving, because this is a week before Thanksgiving. I'm making this for my newsletter, and so we'll see you the following Thursday on my Thursday paint-alongs. All right. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.